What both of our speakers are talking about is called environmental justice. It's an acknowledgement that disparities exist in access to clean air, water, land, and opportunities, and that we have to proactively right the wrongs that perpetuate those disparities. This is truly such a special occasion for me. I'd like to acknowledge the people who are behind pulling it all off. So first and foremost, can we give a round of applause for my strategic aide, Frances Cho, and Mary Jean Stevens, who is here. Thank you so much for all that you've done. And looking around the room, I am just completely floored by the overwhelming show of support. It's over 250 colleagues, friends, community partners, treasured mentors, and my family, many of whom who flew in from out of town to be here. Thank you so much for taking the time out of your busy schedules to join me and all of us. It truly means so much. My own path to get here is unconventional. I'm a biracial, fourth-generation Japanese American, raised under the flight path in the Beacon Hill neighborhood in South Seattle. After marriage, my grandparents, Hiroshi and Mine, first set down roots in the Red Line neighborhood of the Central District, and then in Beacon Hill, two places where they were actually allowed to own property as Asian Americans prior to the passage of the Federal Fair Housing Act in 1960. The Hasegawa house is where they reared their family. It's where my parents raised my sister and I, and it's the same roof under which my husband Michael and I are raising our own two children today. A lot of people know my dad, or Senator Dad as I call him, and they credit him as my inspiration for public service. I love him to pieces, and I would not be here without him. But truthfully, my mom has always been my greatest role model. She's the smartest and hardest working woman I know. She's a mental health professional at King County, and for this event, she will go on to work until midnight, giving aid to people in crisis. My love for life and the people in it are from the love she grew in me. She's here today, so can you all indulge me this moment to publicly embarrass her and give her her very own round of applause? Because what is power if not to embarrass the introverts in your life? In a country whose premise of fairness was built upon a legacy of exclusion, the path to here and now was carved by the hard work, sacrifice, and advocacy of many people before me. A powerfully loving family, a compassionate community, and relentless advocates who tore down barriers and created opportunities to ensure that me and others like me could succeed. And I am so proud to stand before you today as Commission President at the Port of Seattle. And I am so proud to be the first Asian American woman in the Port's over 110-year history to lead in this capacity. Here at the Port, we are doing everything in our power to keep things operating as well as possible to promote a port that works for everyone. The work that we are doing is phenomenal. The team here is second to none, and I am just so incredibly proud to be a part of it. In the past 3 years, SEA became a 4-star airport, voted Best Airport in America 2 years in a row. Year by year, we have achieved a balanced budget and operational growth with an economic recovery so strong we're now exceeding pre-pandemic levels in travel. We approved $5.3 billion in capital projects to upgrade SEA. That is a big pie for contract opportunities, family wage jobs, and a beautiful new welcoming stage to the global community right in time for FIFA World Cup. We facilitated economic incubators to support small businesses. Shout out to Rachel Smith from the Chamber for her support. And we pumped up the pipeline to industry careers through investments into maritime high school, green jobs, and the new apprenticeship program. We've taken on massive cleanup projects, and we cut the ribbon on the brand new Duwamish River People's Park, where osprey, heron, and salmon have all returned to hatch. And last year, we approved $14 million in community grants for communities experiencing economic and environmental disparities. And this is just a taste of some of the amazing work I've gotten to be a part of here at the Port of Seattle. I'd like to acknowledge my colleagues upon the Commission who are here with us today and have been fantastic thought partners. Commissioner Ryan Calkins, Commissioner Sam Cho, Commissioner Fred Felleman, and Commissioner Hamdi Mohammed. And I'd also like to acknowledge Executive Director Steve Metrick, Deputy Executive Goon, the entire executive leadership team, and the nearly 3,000 employees that have been doing the hard work come what may. Please give them a round of applause. I speak on behalf of the entire Port family when I say that we take tremendous pride in being an example of excellence in public service and effective government. We come to work every single day with a dedication to advance our triple bottom line of the economy, the environment, and equity. It's truly a privilege to take on the mantle of leadership at this juncture, and I'm excited about what comes next. See, at the core, ports are connectors. I'm a firm believer in democracy and win-win situations. And the port is uniquely positioned to be a leader in convening stakeholders in business, tribes, community, and labor to identify and create opportunities. In our harbor, we're making big moves to promote a thriving economy and a healthy environment, all while raising the quality of life for our communities. The Port of Seattle can and should lead the global transformation of the maritime industry to create economic opportunity that's a sustainable driver of our regional economy for the next century. We're doing just that. We're making investments in infrastructure and programming that supports a strong blue economy that blends clean energy, and we're leading conversations around fuel transitions in maritime to support a strong green economy. This blend of green and blue is like a teal New Deal that positions the Port of Seattle and our region as a port of the future. That includes finding a permanent home for the Coast Guard to expand their base right here in Seattle, activating T46 as a two-berth omni-terminal that can support state-of-the-art carbon-neutral vessels and supply the region with goods, expanding on the $71 billion of imports and exports that we already facilitate today. We want to activate key properties to make the maritime industry a sustainable driver. And we are excited to model what we did 2 years ago with the first of its kind Green Cruise Corridor for cargo. Where government leads, industry follows. As we pass policies and promote budgets, to promote clean, green infrastructure and fuels, industries around the globe respond. They say that a drop in the pond ripples to the outer edges. And that's what's truly exciting about the port. What we do here will have reverberating impacts on the transportation sector and communities worldwide. And that is so exciting. Leadership is doing what hasn't been done yet to prove that it can be. And that's what we're about here at the Port of Seattle. In 2025, there will be challenges that we meet head on. In a matter of days, we will begin the 4-year saga of President Trump Part 2, unleashing threats on our communities, workforce, environment, unions, disadvantaged businesses, and our economy. We're doing everything within our means to defend our values as a region and as a port. And as president, I will use every inch of my platform and my privilege to be a relentless advocate of civil rights and social justice. And as a port, we're pushing the envelope to be the best advocate for people and the planet that we can be. There's so much on the line, and I will tell you, it hits different as a mom. I'll close on a personal note. I have one very chunky, wiggly, giggly baby boy, and a very sassy, goofy, strong-headed little girl at home. What I want for them more than anything in the world is to be happy, healthy, and autonomous. Happy, healthy, and autonomous. I'll tell you that my goals as a mother strongly inform my positions as a policy maker. So you see, it's not just a port of the future, it's a port for the future. With that, it's my honor to introduce the next speaker. This person is one that some would call good trouble, or just trouble, depending on what side you're on. He is my thought partner and my confidant, someone who's challenged my perceptions of what's possible and shares my dreams of the life we want for our children and our community. I certainly would not be here today without him. Please welcome my husband, Michael Charles. Woo!